Thank you for joining us again and welcome back to our channel. It is important to note that the continent of Africa needs strategic partners that can deliver results. Africa needs infrastructural projects, and the continent is looking for partners that are delivering those particular projects that will last generations, if not centuries. It is important that China, irrespective of your perspective or your approach on how you perceive China, what is in your mind, China again has proven that it is about time that Africa make decisions based on results. China has delivered an incredible project in the country of Uganda. This goes alongside a long list of Chinese projects across the continent of Africa. Soon you will hear other Africa's geopolitical partners will start screaming death traps, just throwing some kind of words out there. The United States of America, China's main geopolitical foe in the continent of Africa, has not delivered a project of this scale. Instead, the US goes ahead and cut it in the continent of Africa. Very soon you will complain that China is engaging Africa. China has delivered an incredible project in the country of Uganda that demonstrates Chinese commitment in the continent of Africa. If you look at Chinese investment across the continent of Africa, roads, port, bridges, dams, electricity institutions, stadiums, you cannot deny the infrastructure that China has arrived in the continent of Africa and is open for business. All of these complaints that China is in the continent of Africa for XYZ. Is China perfect? Not at all. But at this critical time in African history, we want to see partners that talk and do, that can deliver, not partners that cut aid for just no particular reason, to use those particular aid cutting for their own leverage. It is important to note that Africa is at a crossroad at the moment, and the countries across the region are selecting partners across the Sahel. Look at Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, Senegal, looking at Chad, and more importantly, South Africa, engaging Russia and China. And at the moment, the United States of America has actually come out to single out South Africa, including Egypt, as a particular country in the continent of Africa. China will continue to deliver in the region, and this particular project is of the state of the art with regards to why African governments have come to realize that it is about time they shape their industries and businesses, because Africa cannot again rely on their strategic partners who provide no particular influence in terms of their contribution in economic growth, investment, development, technology transfer, healthcare management, and working on social and also research-based information.
Along the mighty Nile River in northern Uganda, more than a decade after construction began, the Karuma hydroelectric power station is now generating more than a quarter of the country's energy. It's the first step in an ambitious journey. The Ugandan government says it wants to more than double what it currently produces nationally by 2040, from 2,000 megawatts to 52,000. Ugandan President Yoweri Museveni says he's looking forward to greater energy security for industry. The Ugandan president, on commissioning the plant, says the station will spur the country's manufacturing.
This little electricity we have here now is going to support the factories. It will be very soon, because now the supply is like 500 megawatts, but very soon it will be overtaken.
Construction of the power station began in 2013. It is one of the flagship projects between China and Uganda in the energy sector. China's ambassador to Uganda said the plant was another key step in the country's development.
China will continue to be Uganda's reliable partners in realizing the Uganda Vision 2040, and furthermore, in the exploration of the path to modernization of China and Uganda respectively.
The project was hit by a significant rise in costs. It's been reported that the initial budget of $1.7 billion rose to almost $2.2 billion by the time construction was complete. 85% of the cost was financed by the Export-Import Bank of China. 15% by the Ugandan government. And there are similar projects to come.
Would have required a groundbreaking for another big plant. So we have aligned the three of them. Ayago, 840 megawatts, Kiba, 400 megawatts, and Ryong, 392 megawatts. We are moving on to making sure that those three plants are also started.
Hydroelectricity is hugely important to Uganda, providing over 80% of the country's electricity. The Karuma hydropower plant has become an essential component in the country's growing need for electricity now. With Uganda planning to scale access to power even further, experts say partnerships with other nations will be an effective way to build such critical infrastructure. Uganda currently has one of the lowest per capita rates of electricity consumption in the world. The addition of the Karuma plant should guarantee more access to electricity for households and industries across the country. Leon Sanyange, CGTN, Karuma, Northern Uganda.
It is a critical time in African history. China just proven. Forget about the Standard Gauge Railway. Projects across the region. Over 100 ports in different countries. Airport, bridges. Magnificent structure. I understand this comes with billions of US dollars and also some commitment. Absolutely. Why? African people need countries that can provide them infrastructure to move products from the hinterlands to the major cities. Roads, this is what Africans are looking for. And more importantly, China has delivered a particular project that could enable the country of Uganda to grow its industry, because Africa cannot grow and advance without electricity. It is important to note that these raw materials in the continent of Africa and why African countries must grow, they need stable electricity. Electricity will be the major hooking block for the continent of Africa to transform what the continent needs. And I think China has demonstrated that it understands Africa's problem. China has seen itself from Africa's own lens. China has seen the continent of Africa as an opportunity to be grabbed, while Africa's geopolitical Western partner see Africa as a problem to be solved, as a lot of Americans ambassadors have said over the years. It is important, with the coming of the current president, Donald Trump, to power, and looking at his executive decision, looking on how he has decided to slam the continent of Africa in several areas. These are wake-up time for the continent of Africa to sit up and move forward to make choices that are unpopular, like I've said. And Uganda has demonstrated that, looking at the relationship with the United States of America being left out from AGOA, the African Growth and Opportunity Act. Uganda has taken this opportunity to demonstrate that it can work with others around the world. I want to thank you for watching. Let me know in the comment section if African countries should be moving faster and why Uganda has demonstrated that there are other partners out there except the United States. And it's important to know that, apart from the United States of America, and this particular time where Africa is assessing, is reviewing, is gauging, and looking at its partners' performance, you cannot underestimate Africa's decisions at this particular time. I will be looking forward to meeting you soon in our next episode. Smash the like button and share the video, and have a pleasant day. Bye-bye.
It's going to support the factories. It will be very soon, because now the surplus is like 500 megawatts. But very soon it will be overtaken.
China will continue to be Uganda's reliable partners in realizing the Uganda Vision 2040. And furthermore, in the exploration of the path to modernization of China and Uganda respectively.
A groundbreaking for another big plant. So we have aligned the three of them. Ayago, 840 megawatts, Kiba, 400 megawatts, and Ryong, 392 megawatts. We are moving on to making sure that those three plants are also started.